Kim Kardashian is linked to the Diddy lawsuit. Yeah, Kim 24 hours before the raid unfollowed Diddy despite continuing to follow him even after the Cassie lawsuit was settled. Turns out Kris Jenner makes all of her daughters give 10% of their income to a church. The church is run by none other than Lou Taylor. So Lou is allegedly Diddy's manager.
Kim Kardashian basically stopped following Diddy. Oh, this is so good.
In the world of Diddy, I do not know if things can get any crazier. If this girl start talking, it can be the end of P. Diddy. Not this girl, this girl. So if you have not heard, Kim Kardashian allegedly had some videotapes and audio tapes that was actually recovered in the raid at people's home.
Diddy's circle seems to be shrinking fast, and the latest to distance herself from him is none other than Kim Kardashian. Known for being a frequent guest at Diddy's infamous parties, Kim has always been part of the elite crowd surrounding him. But now, word on the street says the model is getting as far away as she can from Diddy and everything that concerns him.
So the online world has been buzzing with speculation ever since shocking revelations surfaced implicating Kim Kardashian and her notorious family in Diddy's illicit activities. I mean, it's a twist that nobody saw coming. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell. Kim, long thought to be building her empire through legitimate means, now finds herself entangled in a web of deceit and exploitation. But it's not just about rubbing elbows with Diddy or just being friends with him. No. Because from stealing money from other celebrities to potentially serving up children to Diddy for his parties, Kim's involvement goes deeper than anybody could imagine. I mean, her businesses, once seen as her claim to fame, now appear to be mere fronts for darker dealings behind closed doors. This unraveling began when an eagle-eyed TikToker noticed Kim's sudden social media purge of Diddy on all her platforms 24 hours before the feds raided all 3 of his homes. Was this a coincidence? Unlikely, because Kim's instincts kicked in, sensing trouble on the horizon and swiftly cutting ties to detach herself from Diddy. I mean, everything Kim does is calculated, so I don't put it past her that this is just, she so happens to just unfollow Diddy before all this went down. I mean, she was actually following Diddy after Cassie settled her lawsuit, so 24 hours before the raid, she unfollowed the music mogul. So the plot thickens with revelations from a TikTok user named BB, alleging Kim and Diddy's involvement in a Britney Spears conservatorship-like saga, with attempts to replicate it in Kim's own life, notably with Kanye West, her ex-husband. Okay, so it all starts with a person named Lou Taylor. She's an elusive Hollywood manager pulling strings behind the scenes. Her track record includes orchestrating Britney Spears' conservatorship and reportedly targeting other celebrities like Lindsay Lohan. But it doesn't stop there. You see, Kris Jenner's involvement in a controversial church allegedly used to funnel hush money from Diddy as another layer to this intricate web of deception. So Lou Taylor's ties to the church and her history of exploiting celebrities through conservatorships paint a grim picture of greed and manipulation. So it basically goes, Kris Jenner has this church, and on the board of this church is Lou Taylor. Kris Jenner makes all of her daughters contribute 10% of their income to this church, and everybody who's a part of this church needs to pay $1,000 a month to be a part of it. And what happens with that money is allegedly Lou Taylor pays off Diddy's victims with this money. So they're doing this all in the name of God, which is so insane to me. And who would have thought? I mean, if you were looking at this, you would think they would never do something like this. Well, it turns out they are very much motivated by greed, and money changes people, apparently. So what about Kanye West? His claims of being over-medicated mirror Britney's ordeal.
They tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears you. I mean,
They would have Michael Jackson.
Or worse, yeah. But so look at what they did. Look at what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain. You can see it now. Yeah. You can see there's not much of her left.
Yeah, and you know what? They're right about Britney Spears, because taking one look at her Instagram, you can kind of see that there's definitely something off with her. I mean, this isn't the Britney Spears that I grew up with. It's very far from the oops, I did it again Britney that I saw. You know, I think it all changed when she shaved her head. But I want to know, do you guys just think Britney Spears is trolling? Because I read all the time that Britney is, crazy in the headlines, and she pretty much grew up with that in the tabloids, and the tabloids did her really dirty. So I think she's kind of reversing the narrative and being like, you guys are calling me crazy, so I'm going to start acting crazy. I don't know. Or do you guys actually believe she's crazy? Because this is a little disturbing, so I'm just going to move on from this. This hints at a pattern of exploitation within the industry. The Free Britney movement shed light on the exploitation Britney faced, with allegations of Kim and her family profiting immensely from her conservatorship to the tune of $600 million. But the saga doesn't end with Kim. Kylie Jenner's business dealings raised eyebrows, suggesting a convoluted money trail possibly linked to Britney's funds. It's a tangled web of deceit, with each revelation exposing a darker side to Hollywood's glittering facade. But it gets even worse, because people are now speculating that Kim also had a hand in Diddy's ring itself. You know, the one
in the world of Diddy. I do not know if things can get any crazier. If this girl start talking, it can be the end of P. Diddy. Not this girl, this girl. So if you have not heard, Kim Kardashian allegedly had some videotapes and audio tapes that was actually recovered in the raid at P. Diddy's home. So Kim Kardashian allegedly has been on high-profile individuals to gain access to confidential information such as documents and top-secret information on weapons. Y'all gotta look at this. Look at this.
Closing in on Kim Kardashian. The FBI investigation, initially a tremor-threatening her carefully constructed image, has morphed into a full-blown earthquake threatening to engulf her entire empire. Leaked information paints a picture of a woman who allegedly used a seductive facade to mask a ruthless ambition, wielding stolen documents and secrets like weapons. Kim Kardashian has found herself at the center of a sensation.
To make things even crazier, Kim Kardashian unfollowed Diddy on Instagram. Some believe that the federal raids at Diddy's $1 million mansion have uncovered some seriously incriminating videos, and Kim Kardashian's name is all over.
When the feds raided Puffy's houses, they found tapes with evidence of Kris Jenner.
How did you know?
Some criminal activity.
I wonder how you know that.
One of the key linchpins is Corey Gamble. Corey Gamble, the boyfriend of Pimp Mama Kris Jenner.
24 hours before the raid, Kim Kardashian decides to unfollow Diddy, right? Well,
it's open season on Diddy these days, but it seems like before he ends up behind bars, he's determined to drag others down with him. And according to the rumor mill, the Kardashians are at the top of his list. Allegedly, these two have been collaborating in secret for years. In fact, there are even whispers about Kim Kardashian attending Diddy's infamous parties. To make matters worse, it looks like Kanye West might spill the beans before the authorities can gather the evidence themselves. What secrets does West hold? And is Kim really tangled up with Diddy in ways we never expected?
You think about, if Harley was part of intelligence, right? What kind of people you think are surrounding my kids? What kind of people you think are in that house?
Let's find out. Diddy has been having a tough year. He barely escapes one scandal only to find himself caught in another. Still, no one anticipated Homeland Security barging into his home on March 25th, 2024. Authorities made a surprise visit to his multi-million-dollar mansions in Miami and Los Angeles, and apparently, they hit the jackpot. Reports suggest that the feds uncovered firearms, multiple electronic devices, and hours of footage. It was like a thriller reaching its climax. Amidst all this chaos, one particular detail caught everyone's attention. Just a day before the raid, Kim Kardashian unfollowed Diddy on Instagram. Now, why is that suspicious? Well, Kim had plenty of chances to distance herself from Diddy, like when Cassie filed her lawsuit against him. That would have been a good time to cut ties. But the fact that she chose to do it now, just a day before Diddy's house was raided, seems incredibly fishy to fans. It's almost as if Kim knew about the raid in advance. While she may have studied law, let's be real, her connections can't be that strong, right? There's another angle to this story. Kim unfollowing Diddy suggests she might be trying to erase any evidence of a connection between them. But why would she do that? The leading theory is that Kim has similar secrets in her closet as Diddy. She's rumored to be a frequent attendee at Diddy's parties, and if those secrets were to be revealed, it could spell disaster for the Kardashians. But are fans just connecting dots in the air because Kim unfollowed Diddy on Instagram? Not quite. Despite their best efforts to hide their ties with Diddy, the Kardashians seem to have overlooked two key figures, Lou Taylor and Corey Gamble.
Him laying in Kim Kardashian's bed and said, "I'm in bed with your wife."
You know, this guy just grabbed my wife, and then I didn't see it directly, and she started just explaining to me what happened. So then I walked over and found him.
The drinks were laced, the videotapes were hot, and then at the end of the day, you wake up the next morning, what did I do?
Because I heard they found like 250 cameras or something like that. That's how him and Kim got into the fight, and play fight. You used to play fight with the pillows, like a pillow fight, that dumb that, that's kid to me. But if that's the way they do, that's the way they do.
There's some explosive footage allegedly circulating that supposedly shows Kim Kardashian involved in some questionable activities at one of Diddy's legendary parties. This has the entire Kardashian empire on edge. Rumor has it that the leaked video is a real game changer, possibly capturing Kim in some compromising situations alongside Diddy.
So as of right now, basically every celebrity who is close with Diddy is being blasted on the internet. Everyone's getting called out. Anyone who's associated with this man, it's bad. Right now, it's bad. I think Meek Mill got it the worst, but you guys get it. Well, now the Kardashians are getting called out. Here we go. As you guys know, Kim allegedly unfollowed Diddy like 24 hours before his house raid or something. Well, now there's also this. So somebody posted, just gonna leave this here, and as you guys can see, it's Kim, Diddy, Khloe, and I believe Kylie Jenner. Obviously, this is old, right? It's old, but it's going viral. The comments are like almost all super famous people are corrupt. One word, corrupt, the way I just feel it in my bones, and that they're all somehow cartel related. There's no way they have all that money from their businesses. They have to be laundering money on their private jets while traveling. Another person said she unfollowed him real quick before his house got raided. She knew something. People are just going off because of this resurfaced photo. So yeah, oh man, this is so bad. Like I said, obviously it's resurfaced, right? And I don't want to sit here and point fingers, because you could just say maybe the Kardashians had no idea what Diddy was doing, right? They're all famous. All famous people are living in Hollywood land, and they're all BFFs with everybody. So it's like, who knows, right? At the end of the day, do I believe that Kim knew something? I do. That's just my opinion, bro. That's just my opinion. I kind of think Kim did know something, because why would she unfollow him right before his house got raided? Unless it was just coincidental, because Diddy was getting called out by everyone. So maybe Kim just didn't want to associate herself with him. So she hit the unfollow button, and it just so happened she did it right before he got raided. No idea. Oh my.
Of the entire thing that happened to Britney Spears, the people that were involved in it. So I would highly encourage you guys to go watch that to understand everything in its entirety. But here we go here. It says, don't let Kim Kardashian's advocacy work for criminal justice reform fool you. To date, she still is working with Lou Taylor, aka the masterminds behind Britney Spears' allegedly illegal and corrupt conservatorship, allegedly, where she was, the T-word, the human T-worded, DRUGGED, and stripped of many human rights, working with black box security. So this is like an Israeli security firm that also did some surveillance on Britney Spears, and she says that right there in her bedroom and bathroom, working with and wearing Balenciaga, which Kim Kardashian really recently did do. She posed in this yellow jacket that is reminiscent of Kill Bill, and so did Katy Perry and some other, I think it was Dua Lipa. They all posted this same jacket. So, Kim Kardashian, she posted the whole like, I'm sorry about the, Balenciaga thing. I'm going to evaluate the relationship. Well, you guys have your answer. She's working with Balenciaga once again. And then she says it would be more appropriate to label Kim as an advocate for potential criminals and criminal justice reform. And here you see a note. So we're going to go through these pictures. Hopefully they will load pretty quickly. But there is a picture here that was posted. This was an Instagram. I'll wait for this to load. This was an Instagram story from Kim Kardashian's profile, and this is basically a note from Lou Taylor. Let's take a look here. It says, Kim, how you work and how you love is evident to all who know you. You are respected and loved, Lou and the TriStar team. Okay, once again, a lot of you who are into like the conspiracy, I mean, I'm not saying that this is a conspiracy, but I'm saying like if you're interested in digs and truth, you probably already know some bases about Britney Spears and some players and things like this. But for those of you that don't know Lou Taylor, once again, she is a high positioned Hollywood agent, and she has the TriStar team. Basically, this is the same team that managed Britney Spears and advised into Britney Spears' contractual right? And then you see Kim Kardashian, with let me once again try to get this. I have no idea why this happens with Twitter, but it doesn't load. Okay, here we go. Okay. So this is Kim Kardashian with a black box security person, as you guys can see there. Black Box is an Israeli security firm. I think that is pretty sus. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do some basic security operations for celebrities, things like this, but black box security to me is sus in a way that we don't quite know what all entails with their services. As one former, I believe it was a former bodyguard, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but a former employee that was surrounding Britney Spears basically confessed that Britney Spears was being surveilled through black box security, and that actually caused a big controversy because nobody really answered up to that. Okay, now, and then there are some other connections via Kim Kardashian and some other industry insiders. So let's go to this one right here. All connected, but Britney is free, right? So this is by Cathal Mahoney, who is another great Twitter profile that really keeps tabs on the whole Britney-verse characters and stuff. So let me kind of explain what you're looking at here. Gosh, stop hovering. What's going on? Okay. So what you're looking at here is a picture of Kim Kardashian, her mom, Caitlyn, I'm sorry, what's her mom's name? Oh my gosh, Kris Jenner. My gosh, sorry, forgot for a second. Her mom, Kris, and Paris Hilton, and then this guy, I believe his name is Mahoney. Is it Mahoney? Or maybe not. I'm not sure who this guy's name is. I'm not sure. I think what is being insinuated is that this guy right here is the same guy right here. Now, to understand this holistically, let's just remind you that Kim Kardashian, obviously, she is connected to Lou Taylor. Lou Taylor is, connected to Britney Spears. And this guy right here, why is he a common denominator in this photo? Now, it is just questionable, right? We don't have the concrete answers, but we have full authority to ask questions.
Died, the one who illegally, yes, 100% by the treatment he gave me.
Do you have any involvement in the bugging of Britney's phones?
Sure. What do you want her to play?
I don't know. I mean, could she rehearse on her birthday?
She's gonna rehearse.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
What happens is, even though they're not psychotic anymore, they still can't handle the finances.
Is that you, Robin? I mean, is that your decision?
I cried on the phone for an hour, and he loved every minute of it.
So Britney Spears' lawyer just filed a new document which exposes Lou M. Taylor, the CEO of TriStar and Britney's former business manager, as one of the participants in creating the conservatorship. This is damning because up until this point, Lou M. Taylor has said that she had no part in creating this conservatorship, but these leaked emails prove that she had a big part in putting Britney in this conservatorship and controlling her life. Let's start off by talking about the money, because the money is the important part. Lou M. Taylor has racked up $18 million working with Britney Spears, which is allegedly 5% of her income, which doesn't really add up because there were actually a few articles that came out and questioned the fact that Britney's net worth is $60 million, which, granted, $60 million is a lot of money, but she's been working for her whole life, multiple Vegas residencies, and she should be worth more. And it looks like she is worth more if Lou M. Taylor is getting 5%, which 5% adds up to 18 million, which would be what, like 30% of her entire net worth. So something's not adding up. But you know that Lou M. Taylor did not act alone, because Jamie Spears, Britney's father, had a big role in this conservatorship mess as well. And we learned that he pretty much sold off his daughter, like human trafficked his daughter, for $40,000, which is incredible to think about because Britney Spears is just so worthy and so successful that it's wild that this man could get paid $40,000 to pretty much hand over her legal rights to this firm. But now let's go ahead and get into the emails, because that's where we really learn what's happening here. But this actually isn't the first time that we have seen leaked emails from Lou M. Taylor. Back in 2007, Britney Spears messaged her lawyer Gary and told him that she was worried about this crazy lady Lou M. Taylor because she was sending gifts to her home and she had her personal address. She even described Lou M. Taylor as a stalker. So Britney was worried about Lou M. Taylor back in 2007, and we actually see another email communication where Lou M. Taylor explained that, Britney's father Jamie gave her the address, so that's why she was sending gifts that way, and she apologizes for the intrusion. She also goes on and tries to push some Christian narrative, because it does seem like Lou M. Taylor has a pattern of covering up her bad behavior with Christianity, which is something that I cannot stand. So Lou has been very forthright that they, TriStar and herself, have had no role in Britney Spears' conservatorship and the creation of this conservatorship. They claim they played no part whatsoever in the establishment, but this doesn't seem to be true from what we've learned. So let's get into the emails that we do have now, which I love email because they stay around and they are perfect receipts. Because at one point, Lou M. Taylor sent an email to Jamie talking about Andrew Wallet serving as co-conservator, which this guy is a terrible financial advisor, tax accountant. He's just awful at what he does. I'm pretty sure he lost his license at some point, but there's actually an interview I found where he was talking talking about Britney's conservatorship and talking about it as a lifelong commitment, something that she will never be out of, which I find really concerning, major red flags.
While Spears' lawyer spoke with ET's sister show, The Insider, back in 2014 about conservatorships in general, explaining why it's not unusual for them to last a lifetime.
Because a lot of times what happens is, even though they're not psychotic anymore, they're not a danger to themselves anymore because we've gotten them stabilized, they still can't handle their finances. They still can't really make a medical decision that's in their best interest.
And we also learned from that same email that Lou and Taylor really wanted to be one of the conservators. You'll see throughout these emails that Lou and Taylor really wanted to have a role in this conservatorship. Also, that email was sent in January 2008, which was before the conservatorship. So why was TriStar sending emails at that date if they weren't involved? Then we get to Jamie's lawyers, and these people are just as sketchy as Lou and Taylor. They actually sent over an email to Lou claiming that they ran into a problem with their judge selection, claiming that this judge won't give Jamie Spears the ability to pretty much drug Britney. You guys know that Britney did not have, I mean, we all have our problems, but she did not have the problems that these people tried to make her out to have, and that's why they needed to use drugs to get her in the position that she was put in, and then eventually in a conservatorship.
Today I'm going to 5 studios to pitch this movie idea, a comedy called The Fifth Wheel. I can do a movie a year. I've got about 10 years where I still look good. So that's all I've got in me, and then I'll take some time off.
Kim Kardashian getting real about her 10-year plan on the Kardashians.
Yep.
The beauty mogul sharing the revelation as she takes steps to further her acting career, which includes pitching movies to big Hollywood studios.
I'm going with the writers, Paula Pell and Janine Brito. We are going to go from studio to studio and see if anyone likes it. I was not expecting this career turn. It really did take me by surprise.
Kim's talking about her latest role in Ryan Murphy's American Horror Story, Delicate.
You've worked so hard and you followed my direction. I know it's going to be worth it.
It's a different experience for sure.
I did American Horror Story. Okay. After it came out, all these different people wanted to meet.
Yeah, and turns out Kimmy's studio meetings were a success, and she shares the good news with her longtime friends.
I sold a movie to Netflix, like a real comedy movie.
Incredible.
It's this like full comedy called The Fifth Wheel, and it's like 4 girls go on a trip. So it's like Hangover, Bridesmaids, First Wives Club-ish. Okay. I was like, oh my God, I love the idea. And we literally spent a day, we went to all the studios, and everyone called within like 20 minutes with offers.
Oh my God.
And it was like, it was like really cool.
Yeah, Bible. It's a great look.
And the 43-year-old mom of 4 isn't wasting any time, saying because of her age, she feels she needs to get things moving.
I can do a movie a year. I've got about 10 years where I still look good. So that's all I've got in me, and then I'll take some time off. So 10-year plan, guys. That's my 10-year plan. I also feel like you need less Botox for more emotion, and I don't have it.
Right, and then that's like
I'm not going to be gaining 500 pounds for a role and losing them. Like, I'm just, that's not where I need to be. You know, like, I feel like, how am I going to cry?
You just got to roll with it.
I'm really nervous about it because I have to liver. It's such a challenge for me, and I want to welcome a challenge. And every year I was like, I want to do something that makes me so uncomfortable that I really have to like challenge myself. How do they know I can do it? Now it's like the pressure's on because it's like, oh, this is happening.
Despite being nervous, Kim's besties know she's got it in her and even think she should take on the role of the world's biggest secret agent, James Bond.
You should be the female 007.
It should be a female. Instead of a Bond girl, it should be Bond boys. Bond boys, yes. Like a female 007.
Yes, I like that.
That would be epic.
So what do you think? Could Kim Kardashian have some incriminating ties to Diddy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss any updates. Until next time, stay real, everyone.